The Volkswagen Type 2 transporter. Introduced in 1950, it became a big hit, even in the USA. America's auto manufacturers took notice and decided to get in on the microbus fad as well. In 1961, Chevrolet introduced their new sports wagon, which was meant to be a direct competitor to the VW. But will it be just as successful, or will it simply fall by the wayside? This is the story of the Chevrolet Corvair 95 Greenbrier sports wagon, an American answer to the VW Microbus transporter. Hi, this is Jeffrey. Now, back in 1950, Volkswagen introduced its new Type 2 microbus. It became very popular in the USA, and in the early 1960s, American automakers also wanted to produce this type of vehicle. In 1961, Chevrolet introduced their own. But will it be successful? That is the question. It's a really fascinating story, so let's get started in learning about the Chevrolet Corvair Greenbrier Sportswagen passenger van. Could America build a better VW? Chevrolet thought it could. By the late 1950s, Volkswagen's Type 2 microbus was gaining a loyal following among small business owners and families. Chevrolet's engineers, led by Ed Cole, saw an opportunity to Americanize that successful formula. The plan was to derive this new passenger van or microbus from the Corvair, a rear-engined, air-cooled compact car manufactured and marketed by Chevrolet over 2 generations from 1960 through 1969. Using the Corvair's air-cooled, rear-mounted flat-six engine and unibody construction, Cole's team created a family of compact trucks, the Corvair 95 series, named for its 95-inch wheelbase. The lineup would consist of 4 vehicles. It included the Corvan panel van, the Rampside and Loadside pickups, and one more that would be a passenger version aimed squarely at the VW bus. Making its debut for the 1961 model year, it would seat an equal number of passengers to the VW, have dual swing outside doors, and the same forward control design of its lineup that put the driver right above the front axle. And so, what would this new VW microbus competitor be? It was the Chevrolet Corvair Greenbrier Sportswagen. Of the 4 Corvair 95 models, the Greenbrier had the longest run. In the first production year of 1961, almost 58,000 units were manufactured. As a passenger vehicle or microbus, the Greenbrier was equipped with cargo area windows and rear bench seats. The cab seat and a single rear seat were a standard feature, but a third seat was an option. The seat in the center position was reversible, whereby passengers could face the rear and possibly share an optional table with the third seat. The Greenbrier featured independent suspension on all 4 wheels, giving it a smooth ride compared to the truck-based vans of the era. And its rear-mounted engine would have twice the power of the VW. The passenger van was available with trim and paint options similar to the Corvair automobile. The base model had 6 doors. However, an option offered a total of 8 doors with passenger entries on the driver's side of the vehicle. A camper package was also available for the Greenbrier. Options for the cargo space included bed cushions, couch, kitchen counter, door-mounted table, and Coleman stove and cooler. Tents and rooftop luggage racks could also be purchased. Truly, it was quite an innovative multi-purpose vehicle. Now, let's take a look at some of the basic specifications of the Chevrolet Corvair Greenbrier sports wagon. Number 1, length is 15 feet. Number 2, width is 5 feet 10 inches. Number 3, height is 5 feet 8 inches. Number 4, empty weight is 3,040 pounds. Number 5, passenger capacity is 9. Number 6, engine is the 2.4 liter Turbo Air 6H6 or 2.7 liter Turbo Air H6. And finally, number 7, top speed is 80 miles per hour. The Greenbrier and its sister vehicles were of a unique design language. Samuel R. Smith, an automotive designer at Chevrolet on the Corvair 95 project, explains.
In some ways, the Corvair car and Corvair 95 were a transition from the more flamboyantly finished vehicles of the 1950s to the more austere and simplified styling that took hold in the 1960s. Aerodynamics were not a design priority, but were improved by the contouring of the body above the front sculpted cove and the angle of the windshield. In general, the Corvair 95 was extremely well proportioned, highlighted by the double concave cove along the length of the body and traditional two-tone paint scheme. These forward controls display a distinctive elegance.
For a van, at least, the Greenbrier could be considered more stylish than both the first-generation Ford Econoline and the later Dodge A100, which were two of its competitors. But all was not perfect. The Corvair's reputation suffered from Ralph Nader's 1965 book, Unsafe at Any Speed, which criticized the stability of the swing axle rear suspension of early Corvairs and cast a shadow over the entire lineup. Although the Greenbrier was not directly implicated, public opinion turned. There were also oil leaks, and the competition with the less expensive Ford Econoline and VW microbuses also took a toll. The passenger van was eventually phased out in 1965, with only 1,528 sold in its final year. But whatever the case, the Chevy Greenbrier sports wagon remains a unique moment in the history of American microbuses. And so there it is, the story of the Chevrolet Corvair 95 Greenbrier passenger van, probably one of the lesser known or more forgotten about passenger vans of that era. However, it's still quite an interesting vehicle. So do you think that this is an Americanized version of the VW Type 2? Let us know in the comments. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this look at the Chevrolet Greenbrier passenger van. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a great day. Bye.